When a high-capacity continuous load is forced through a standard automotive circuit, internal resistance spikes. The surrounding plastic warps, blisters, and eventually begins to smoke. Plugging a portable power station directly into a vehicle's 12-volt accessory socket is highly convenient. It allows you to harvest energy while driving. But modern portable power stations demand aggressive, continuous electrical loads. They will pull as much current as the connection allows, for hours at a time. Vehicle accessory circuits were never designed for that kind of sustained demand. Automakers engineered these sockets strictly for intermittent, low-draw devices, like phone chargers and small air compressors. Forcing these two conflicting systems together creates a dual hazard. The physical connection points risk localized thermal failure, while the sustained draw can completely deplete the vehicle's primary starting capability. To safely integrate a DC to DC charging system, we have to look past marketing claims of unlimited mobile power and apply the strict first principles of electrical engineering. That requires evaluating three specific constraints: the true load limits of the alternator, the inherent resistance of the conductor, and the localized protection of the circuit. By constructing a complete mathematical model of the vehicle's charging system, we can identify exactly where these failure thresholds exist. Treating a vehicle's legacy 12-volt architecture as a plug-and-play infinite energy grid guarantees that one of those thresholds will eventually be crossed. This diagram illustrates the true source of your charging energy. While the engine is running, the kinetic motion of the engine block turns the alternator, converting mechanical rotation into electrical power. The starter battery does not generate this energy. The alternator operates as a dynamically balanced microgrid. Its primary non-negotiable task is to maintain the core voltage of the entire vehicle system. As this chart demonstrates, the alternator's total capacity fills up quickly with baseline requirements. It must power the engine control unit, the headlights, the HVAC blowers, and the audio system simultaneously. The remaining space is your spare capacity. But as external conditions demand more baseline power, like running the defroster and heated seats in freezing weather, that spare capacity shrinks. Adding a power station charger drops a massive new block of continuous demand on top of an already burdened system, pushing the alternator dangerously close to its maximum threshold. The math changes the second you turn the key off. When the alternator stops spinning, generation stops. All active electrical demand immediately transfers to the 12-volt starter battery. Electrical energy is calculated by multiplying volts by amp hours. Because portable power stations often have capacities multiple times larger than a standard lead-acid starter battery, they will aggressively drain the vehicle's reserve. A deep discharge drops the starter battery's voltage beneath the minimum threshold required to properly crank the engine. The power station gains a full charge, but the vehicle is immobilized. Safely harvesting auxiliary power dictates that you only charge while the engine is running. You must operate strictly within the alternator's spare capacity and isolate the starter battery entirely. With the alternator running, we have to evaluate the physical point of connection inside the cabin, the 12-volt accessory socket. This equation reveals the true load placed on that socket. Power equals voltage multiplied by current. To find the exact electrical draw, we isolate the current, meaning current equals power divided by voltage. Applying this to a real-world scenario, a standard 120-watt power station charger plugged into a 12-volt system demands exactly 10 amps of continuous current. That calculated 10 amps must then be measured against the socket's physical limits. As this model shows, a 10-amp flow passes safely through a 15 or 20-amp circuit, but creates a severe bottleneck if the circuit itself is only rated for 10 amps. Vehicle manufacturers assign specific fuse ratings to these sockets based on the underlying wire gauge. Depending on the make and model, these ratings are typically 10, 15, or 20 amps. If your power station attempts to pull 15 amps through a socket strictly fused for 10, the system will fail. The excessive draw will either melt the plastic housing or blow the protective fuse entirely. You cannot guess system compatibility. Verifying the actual current draw against the designated circuit rating is the only way to ensure the connection remains stable over long distances.
Between the vehicle socket and the power station lies the transmission line. The DC charging cable itself introduces its own set of electrical constraints. This cross-section illustrates the concept of voltage drop. Every electrical conductor presents a natural physical resistance to the flow of electrons. As current travels, the voltage drops from the source to the destination. That resistance multiplies mathematically under two conditions. First, if the cable is excessively long, the current has to fight through more material. Second, if the copper conductor's diameter is too small, the electrons crowd together, creating intense friction. High voltage drop cripples system performance. It forces the internal charge controller to work with lower incoming voltage, which drastically slows down charging speeds and degrades efficiency. The energy lost to this resistance does not disappear. The laws of thermodynamics dictate that it must convert directly into localized heat.
This is what severe voltage drop looks like in the real world. The cable acts as a resistor, baking the insulation from the inside out. If the adapters, 12-volt plugs, or the cable insulation feel unusually hot to the touch during operation, the system is actively failing. Disconnect it immediately. Running long, thin, aftermarket charging cables ensures that you are converting valuable electrical generation into a dangerous, concentrated heat source. Even with proper math and heavy-gauge cables, physical damage can still occur. This is where the mechanical fuse acts as the final failsafe. A fuse does not exist to protect the power station plugged into the socket. Its sole engineering purpose is to protect the vehicle's internal wiring infrastructure from catching fire. This model demonstrates a short circuit. An unintended path allows current levels to spike drastically beyond what the copper wire can handle. Before the wire hits its thermal limit, the metallic fuse link instantly snaps, permanently severing the flow of electricity. Because of this strict thermal relationship, a blown fuse must never be bypassed, and it must never be replaced with a higher rated value than the manufacturer specified. Substituting a blown fuse with a piece of metal or slotting a 20-amp fuse into a 10-amp slot completely removes the thermal failsafe. The wiring will ignite. If you are building a custom hardwired DC charging circuit from the battery to the trunk to handle larger loads, you are entirely responsible for engineering this protection. The protective fuse must be installed physically as close to the power source as possible. This ensures that the entire downstream length of the cable remains protected against a sudden short to the vehicle chassis. Proper fuse rating and precise physical placement isolate thermal anomalies the millisecond they happen, keeping a localized short circuit from cascading into a total vehicle loss. This is what a perfectly balanced, mathematically sound DC charging system looks like. The alternator generates a steady supply of energy, vehicle loads are satisfied, the power station receives continuous input, and the starter battery sits perfectly isolated. Achieving this state requires a strict operational protocol. You start the engine and verify stable generation before you ever connect the charging cable. Calculating the power equation ensures the continuous current remains safely beneath the physical limits of your vehicle's designated accessory fuse. Utilizing properly gauged, short cables effectively eliminates voltage drop. The electrons flow with minimal friction, keeping transmission temperatures cool and maximizing the energy that actually reaches the battery cells. To preserve these safety margins, portable power stations intentionally throttle their 12-volt charging speeds. This is a deliberate engineering choice to respect the very real limitations of legacy automotive wiring. If your travel demands require faster replenishment, the solution is not to force more current through the vehicle's dashboard. The solution is to supplement the throttled alternator charging with external solar inputs when parked. Ensure the power station itself maintains open physical ventilation during transit. The internal inverter and charge controllers require ambient airflow to dissipate their own operating heat. Electrical limits are not suggestions. They are the physical boundaries of the materials inside your vehicle. By mapping out alternator capacity, calculating the electrical resistance, and applying fuse protection, you secure a reliable mobile energy architecture capable of safely powering your travel.